Severe storms are back in our forecast, so today is a WRAL weather alert day. I'll show you the timeline of the storm's arrival and who could see some severe weather.
Drunk driving charge. The tow truck driver arrested after a deadly crash on Capitol Boulevard will be in court today. WRAL examines his lengthy history of DWI charges.
More students in the Triangle are returning to year-round classes today. How some of their in-school meals are changing due to the outbreak of Cyclospora.
It's going to be a busy Monday. Thank you for joining us on this WRAL Weather Alert Day as we track the potential for severe storms and localized flooding. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Levingood. We are also tracking the potential for more storms today. Look at some of these photos sent to us from yesterday's storm. You see right this photo of a large lightning strike that was sent to us from Darby, Amick, and Benson. And then over in Southern Pines, Tina, she sent us this photo of the pouring rain last night. Remember, if you ever have weather pictures or video, you can send it to us to show others on WRAL.com/report it.
Let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with the timeline for these storms today and what else we could see. Elizabeth.
So likely to see some more wind damage and some flooding as well. Just lots of heavy downpours with this rain later this afternoon. Just like yesterday, it's going to be caused by this lingering stationary front across our area. And the timeline will be very similar to yesterday, a very normal summer pattern for us with mainly afternoon and evening storms. Those storms, again, could produce some wind damage. We saw some of that yesterday and even at least one report of hail. Flooding could be an issue for us this afternoon, too, with some of those heavy downpours. That level 2 risk includes the entire viewing area. It's a level 2 risk for flooding for most of us as well. And again, that chance really starts to ramp up right around the middle of the day and lasting into the evening. Beautiful sunrise. Check this out. We're taking a look at from the Well Departments toward downtown Raleigh. Really pretty out there with some clouds mixed with clear skies as the sun's coming up. 76 is our temperature and our dew point 72. So it's warm and sticky this morning, but with our chance for rain, we're going to hold it in the upper 80s. So no intense heat today. It will be very muggy, very moist out. And of course, we'll have that chance of severe storms today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Also, a tropical system developing in the Gulf. We'll take a look at that too coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Let's start with this live look at I-40 and Harrison Avenue. Boy, traffic's flowing at a nice steady clip in both directions. And this is really what we're seeing on all of our major routes. Everything is delay-free right now, whether you're coming from the Chapel Hill, Durham area and I-40 eastbound, Wake Forest, you're coming in from Knightdale. Those routes are delay-free. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
And remember, you can always stay connected with the WRAL weather app. That way, you can track the heat and the thunderstorms and air quality in real time. You'll get important alerts sent right to your phone. Just make sure your notifications are turned on.
There was a large EMS and fire response to a pharmaceutical plant in Clayton this morning. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was at the Grifols plant on US 70 Business at around 1:30 this morning. There were ambulances on the scene. We are working to learn what happened and whether anyone was hurt.
Well, the tow truck driver charged with drunk driving after a deadly crash on Capitol Boulevard, they will be in court today. Let's go ahead and bring in Allie Calabar. She's joining us live from the Wake County Justice Center. Allie, this tow truck driver, he has a history of DWI.
Yeah, this is Alan Guerrero's fourth DWI charge. He's also facing aggravated felony death by vehicle, as well as several other charges. Take a look at your screen here. This is 39-year-old Guerrero's mugshot. Police say he made a U-turn against a red light, crashing into two motorcycles and another car on Capitol Boulevard early Friday morning. Chandler Hodge died while riding his motorcycle, and Friday marked his 35th birthday. 3 other people were also seriously injured. Guerrero had 3 prior drunk driving convictions, including one just last year. He currently has a suspended license due to previous DWI charges. So this morning we're asking these questions that you're about to see on your screen. How was a person with 3 DWIs and no active license responsible in running a driving business? And also, who was responsible for allowing him to keep his business? Now, he will be in court at 1:30 this afternoon. WRAL will be there. Reporting live in Raleigh, Allie Calabar, WRAL News.
And a Raleigh woman facing child abuse charges, she's also expected to appear in court today. Police arrested 27-year-old Akira Janae Jackson. She's charged with intentional child abuse causing serious physical injury and domestic violence. Jackson is being held without bond under Arena's law.
In just a few hours, Durham Public Schools will welcome back its year-round students. WRAL's Elizabeth Holmes is live at Easley Elementary School in Durham this morning. Elizabeth, the first day of this new school year is coming with some changes.
Renee, that's right. Nearly 4,000 students will start class today here in Durham. They'll be the first of nearly 30,000 to start in the district this school year. But compare that to the nearly 40,000 year-round students in Wake County. But here in Durham, you said there are some changes. The district is actively monitoring cyclosporiasis cases in the county. Right now, there are 21 confirmed cases in the county. So the district is removing all fresh produce from their school meals, and they will do that until September. They will be using canned and frozen fruits and vegetables in the meantime. And we talked to a pediatrician about why it's important that kids be protected from this virus, especially now that they're going to be back in the classroom.
Kids tend to have more diarrhea than they do kind of the flu-like symptoms and the abdominal cramping that adults will more likely experience. The biggest thing to be aware of for kids is that they're at a higher risk of dehydration and they are less tolerant of weight loss.
Now, we are expecting to hear directly from the district superintendent later this morning. He's expected to be here at Easley in about an hour or so. We'll share updates as we get them. In Durham, Elizabeth Holmes, WRAL News.
And you know, thousands of cases of the intestinal illness Cyclospora have been confirmed here in the U.S. In fact, hundreds of those cases right here in North Carolina. But the source is still unclear for here in our state. One impact being felt is in the Triangle, a boom in business for local growers. It was jam-packed at the state farmers market over the weekend. Consumers are looking at ways to avoid that parasite. Food from local growers requires limited handling and packaging, a shorter travel distance, and usually it's sold fresh. Factors that all have lowered the chances of contamination spread. And we spoke with farmers who say they are seeing a boost.
We're seeing definitely increase the sales in our greens, lettuces, and kales and things like that.
Was there ever a concern that it would affect your produce?
No, not at all.
And health leaders say it can be a bit hard to narrow down exactly what the source of the outbreak is. The CDC is inviting people to not eat any of the recalled produce and to throw it away if you do have it. You can count on WRAL to keep you updated on everything your family needs to know about Cyclospora. You can hear from local people who have experienced the illness that it brings firsthand. Plus, you can find in-depth discussions on what to look for so you can avoid getting sick. All of that on the WRAL YouTube channel.
New this morning, nearly 300,000 North Carolinians now find themselves in default on their federal student loans. That's according to new analysis by the Associated Press. It shows those borrowers collectively owing $7.8 billion in federal student loans. That is nearly double the people who were in default just 1 year ago. Nationally, the number of borrowers in default has soared since pauses on loan repayments during the COVID pandemic. We have a lot more on what this problem looks like in North Carolina in the education section of WRAL.com.
The U.S. conducted another series of strikes in Iran overnight, and this happened after the death of another American service member. The U.S. and Iran have approached even more conflict with each other as the interim ceasefire deal fell apart, and since then, both sides have targeted civilian infrastructure. Plus, shipping traffic in the Strait of Hormuz has largely stalled. U.S. officials say that a service member was killed in northern Iraq during the controlled detonation of a downed Iranian drone. And U.S. Central Command also said that it has located the identified remains in Jordan, where a separate Iranian attack left 2 U.S. troops dead and 1 missing in action.
Well, we feel very badly, but you know, those great people, those great patriots were out there fighting that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Iran has been very, very badly damaged. They've lost everything almost militarily.
And last night, the U.S. Embassy in Bahrain issued a warning. It says that Iran may seek to target locations there. Israel also warned that missiles launched toward Jordan could cause some spillover into Israeli territory.
People in Fayetteville are coming together to help search for missing Fort Bragg soldier Savion Anderson. Dozens gathered in the parking lot of the Airborne Museum yesterday before spreading out to search. Anderson's family was also there. Some volunteers also plan to search Fort Bragg. Anderson was last seen on June 29th. He was reported absent without leave on July 1st. WRAL spoke with his wife last week. She says Anderson had been struggling with mental health issues, but she believes he's alive. Anyone who sees Anderson is asked to contact the Fort Bragg Resident Agency Army.
Well, more than a dozen people are out of their homes because of an apartment fire in Raleigh. This happened over the weekend, early yesterday morning at the Timbers Apartments off West Millbrook Road. 8 units were damaged after this, and at least 16 people are now without a place to stay. No one was injured, though, and the cause of the fire, that's still being investigated. And 2 people were sent to the hospital after a fire at a duplex in Durham. That happened on Rainer Street just before noon yesterday. One person was rescued from that fire, and another was able to escape on their own, but their conditions have not been released, not yet. There was also a fire at a home on Collier Road in Durham yesterday. Firefighters say that it may have been weather-related, but the damage was minimal and no one was injured.
Asheville shooting. 2 people are dead, several more are hurt. What we are trying to learn this morning about the investigation.
And on top of the world, Spain has won the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Their big win over Argentina and the reaction from Triangle soccer fans after an exciting World Cup.
And today is another WRAL weather alert day. Not just this threat for severe storms in terms of wind damage, but also flooding. I'll show you what time the storms could start where you are.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, our severe storm threat, not just today, but Tuesday and Wednesday. It's level 2, meaning that we have the potential for scattered storms that could produce wind damage across almost the entire viewing area. Here's why. We still have this stationary front sitting over us, and that will help to act as one of the focusing mechanisms for storms later today. Likely to start right around or just after lunchtime and continue into the evening with 60% chance of storms today. It looks pretty right now over RDU. We're taking a look at partly cloudy skies here. It's a warm, sticky start this morning. 76 in Raleigh, 72 in Roanoke Rapids, and 74 in Rocky Mount. Exercise forecast, it may be kind of a tough day for that. It's really warm and sticky this morning. By lunchtime, we'll start to have that threat for severe storms, but it is a bit cooler this afternoon with highs in the upper 80s. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the tropics and a storm developing in the Gulf. Ken?
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Let's start with to the east of Raleigh. Give you a live look at I-87 at Smithfield Road. These are the southbound lanes moving away from us right now. So let's stretch out the view of I-87 all the way back to Wendell Falls Parkway. We're just picking up a 1-minute delay coming into the belt line. So no delays whatsoever if you're coming in from 9 and all points east. I'll check some other routes in about 10 minutes and let you know I'm picking up any delays.
Happening now here in the WRAL Live Center, Britain's departing Prime Minister Keir Starmer is expected to give a farewell speech here as he is leaving the Labour Party. Right now, we have a live look at the big crowds. You can see people now clapping at this point. So it appears there he is. Perfect timing. He is stepping to the podium to give that farewell speech. This is expected to be a very emotional time, a very emotional speech as he is saying goodbye after really a tumultuous season as he was essentially forced out of the Labour Party. So Andy Burnham, he is expected to take over. Once Starmer wraps up his speech, he will head to Buckingham Palace to officially hand over his resignation to King Charles III.
Laura, thanks for monitoring all those developments for us across the pond. Well, 9 people are critically injured after a mass shooting in downtown Tucson, Arizona. This happened early yesterday morning. Police say the suspect was running away as officers got to the scene. They say he was given commands before an officer shot him. The suspect was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police are now looking for people who may have video of the scene. 2 people are dead, 7 others are hurt after a shooting in Asheville. This was near Biltmore Avenue yesterday morning. Investigators believe the shooting may have stemmed from an earlier shooting. The conditions of the 7 people who were hurt have not been released. Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife have welcomed their 4th child. The baby's name is Alex Neil Vance. The vice president says the second lady and the baby are happy and healthy. He also thanked the medical staff at Walter Reed Medical Center and the White House Medical Unit. This is the first time a second lady has had a baby while in office since 1870.
Well, this morning, Spain is celebrating its 2nd World Cup win. Ferran Torres' goal in the 106th minute gave Spain a 1-0 win over defending champions Argentina in yesterday's final. Now, Spain previously won the World Cup in 2010. But their win denied Messi a title in what may have been his final World Cup. And all the fun was at the high pitch right here in the Triangle as fans packed watch parties across our area. Soccer fans at Sports and Social in Cary, for example, they were there for every high and every low of the World Cup final. Now, when it was all said and done, Spain's supporters left with smiles across their faces. And fans said that sharing that moment with hundreds of other supporters, well, it made them feel like a little piece of the World Cup was right here in the Triangle.
Our friend is actually from Spain. I'm from Iraq, from Baghdad. But he had to leave to see his family in España. So we told him we have him here. We got him here. So we came with full gear. And Viva España!
Well, I'll tell you what, and ahead in what's trending, a look at the FIFA World Cup Finals' first ever halftime show.
All right, we're back in that rumbly pattern once again. Elizabeth, we won't get into the 90s today. I suppose that's a little silver lining, but we do have the potential for severe storms.
Yes, we definitely need the rain, but we, of course, don't want the severe weather to go along with it. What we're seeing right now is a stationary front, and that's going to be with us for the next couple of days. That's going to keep us in that threat for severe storms. That orange shaded area that you see popping up there is a severe thunderstorm watch from yesterday, and we had a number of severe thunderstorm warnings. And up here in our northern counties where you see some of those warnings, we did actually have some wind damage. So same story again today. Right around or just after lunchtime, the storms will begin. A few of those could produce some wind damage, meaning trees could fall, and then flooding too. We'll have very heavy downpours with these storms. We need the rain, but of course nobody wants the flooding to go along with it. We did have a few lingering showers overnight last night. Most of that is over here in eastern Halifax County, very far southern Northampton County, a little sprinkle there. Don't be surprised if you see a sprinkle or two this morning, but the bulk of the rain doesn't start until around or just after lunchtime. For the last couple of days, we've had some pretty good rainfall totals. What you're looking at for some of the higher totals are going to be these purple or pink shaded areas, even the blue. Notice here almost 3 inches in the southern part of Granville County, and then down here in the Sandhills too, over an inch of rain in the blue and the pink. Some areas just didn't see very much. Sadler City just a trace, but Wilson at about an inch and about a half an inch over in Smithfield. So we just need to keep that going and keep chipping away at this drought. We did have some trees down around Henderson. Parts of Vance and Granville counties saw some wind damage, as well as up in Mecklenburg County, Virginia, and the potential for some hail continues today too. But mostly this is going to be a wind damage or flooding threat. Today level 2, tomorrow level 1, Wednesday level 2. So that just keeps us in that flooding threat. Here's a look at futurecasts. We're mostly going to see those storms developing right around or just after lunchtime, and they'll pop up just anywhere. So it won't matter where you are. Now with scattered storms, not everybody will see them. But again, afternoon and evening thunderstorms will be with us today, tomorrow, Wednesday, possibly Thursday. And the next 3 days are all WRAL weather alert days. Look at this forecast rainfall for the next several days, through the next 7 days, anywhere from 2 to maybe 4 to 5 inches of much needed rain. Tropical update. Tropical Depression 2 has formed and could become Bertha a little bit later on today. This is a storm that's likely to just hug the Gulf Coast and head toward Texas with winds up to around 50 miles per hour. Not likely to affect us here. What we'll see this afternoon, of course, is the storms, a high of 88. We're in the 90s on Tuesday and Wednesday. Ken?
This is what's happening now in your morning commute. Let's check a couple of our major routes, including I-40 Harrison Avenue. You can see traffic is beginning to pick up just a bit, but flowing at a nice steady clip. Similarly to the east of Raleigh, I-87 and Smithfield Road, southbound lanes moving away from us and moving rather nicely this morning. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing very little to no delays. Just a 1 minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, but if you're coming in from Nightdale, the Gardner-Johnson County area, all delay free. You're getting ready to head into the car to listen on the radio. 101.5 HD3.
Time on the clock is 6:21 this morning, and we're talking about neighborhood takeovers. There are neighborhoods that are being overrun by people who don't live there. And so WRL investigates the dangerous trend of takeover events and what's being done to stop these.
Big changes. A major decision in Washington could reshape college sports for years to come. What's at stake for athletes, schools, and fans?
All right, so college football season, it kicks off in less than 6 weeks, but the future of college sports could be decided before that in Congress. You see, the Protect College Sports Act is making its way through the U.S. Senate. This comprehensive bill would affect everything from eligibility and the transfer portal to agent fees for name, image, and likeness deals, even conference realignment. And some college leaders have been pushing for federal action for years. They say it would help stabilize a situation that many think has gotten out of control.
We are truthfully working as hard as we can to make this thing work, because I don't know how much more disrupted college sports could be, but we would enter that ecosystem if we can't get something done.
Well, and the bill has support from the chancellors of NC State, UNC, ECU, but not everyone is on board. The leaders of the Big Ten and SEC have been opposed to this. They're pushing for changes to this bill.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
A major spectacle at the FIFA World Cup final and a little raccoon that has won the hearts of everyone on social media.
Yeah, Ken Smith is here to talk about it and what's trending.
Yeah, so let's start with the historic FIFA World Cup final this year. This was the first time the big game had a halftime show. Madonna kicked off the spectacle before the Muppets, BTS, and Justin Bieber took the stage. The show brought music, dance, global entertainment to soccer's biggest stage on the final night of the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
And that's what you expect from a halftime show, right? Lots of choreography, effects, dancing, singing. And Bieber's performance got some mixed reviews. He had an acoustic guitar solo performance, no backup vocals, nothing, and people just felt like, it kind of brought down the vibes a little bit.
How do you follow Madonna and Shakira with an acoustic guitar? I mean, you don't.
You're Justin Bieber.
Yeah, man.
Gotta see it to believe it.
Exactly. Now to that raccoon taking the Seattle area and social media by storm. People on social media gave this mammal with a short torso the name Jimothy, and videos of him going viral. So what's up with a short torso, you ask? It's likely this raccoon has a rare spine deformity that makes it appear as if he is missing a neck.
Yeah, and despite the deformity there, he appears to be healthy and has become the unofficial mascot for Seattle. I'm glad that people are being kind about it because, yes, it's an animal, but it is, a deformity that it's going through there.
Well, tow truck driver in court, accused of DWI in a deadly crash on Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh. How this is not his first time being arrested for drinking and driving.
We're also talking about returning to class as year-round school begins for Durham Public Schools today. How school leaders are making changes during the Cyclospora outbreak.
And here we go again. It's another WRAL weather alert day. We have the chance for flooding and some wind damage. I'll let you know what time the storms could start where you are.